Hi everyone, welcome back to AFC, Action Figure Captures. In today's video we've got a couple of items that are not something I normally buy, but basically they'd be a lot of fun, and so I bought the first one a little while ago, and then the second one just came out recently, so I figured, okay, I may as well buy the second one as well since I already have it. I haven't even opened the first one, to be honest with you, so it's kind of funny. I bought it a little while ago at Heroes World here in Ontario, Canada. And again, Heroes World has been such a great shop. They've got so many items in, and just there's so many things you can pick up there. Everything from role-playing games, comics, action figures, collectibles, everything. So make sure if you get the chance, drop by Heroes World in Markham, Ontario. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with all their selection. Anyway, back to the video. And again, that's not a paid endorsement, by the way, but just anyway, back to the video. Here we have the Todd McFarlane Toys Munitions pack, which you get, I believe it's 18 weapons. They say 15 plus. I think it works out to about 18 weapons in total. And then the second one is the Deluxe Accessory pack, which is again another weapons pack where you get a bunch of kind of different weapons. Like you get a ray gun, and you get some futuristic looking stuff. You get a gun that looks like a cork gun, like that'll pop a cork, like a wine cork from the gun, like for Harley Quinn or a character like that, I guess. But then you get some serious weapons as well, like Uzis and Gatling gun as well and everything. So they look really cool. I haven't actually opened either one of these two yet. I've actually cut the tape to look at them quickly, but I haven't really taken them out and put them in any figures' hands or anything yet, so this will be the first time for that. Basically, when I bought them, I was thinking of some of the McFarlane figures, but I also thought they might go well with the G.I. Joe Classified figures. I'm told that they don't scale as well with the G.I. Joe Classified figures, so yeah, I've got a few McFarlane figures I can use them with, including Spawn and so forth, and I'll probably end up using them with those guys. And I will add some photographs into the video just so you can see what they look like and everything. And the figures I chose to do that with are, of course, Spawn from the NK11 series game. I chose the Killing Joke Comedian Joker because of some of the weapons that are actually in the pack there. Like the elongated barrel gun in pack 1, and then basically some of the kind of odd, weird guns in the second one. And then third, of course, just for the G.I. Joe Classified figures to see how well they look or scale, I chose Snake Eyes from the Timber 2 pack. And we'll see how well they work out. Basically, I just wanted to kind of give an idea and to see how they look and feel in each character's hand, if you can get some nice poses and everything. But one thing I did realize after picking the figures was that McFarlane doesn't give a lot of accessories anymore with their figures, so you don't get interchangeable hands or anything. You barely get anything with the figures anymore. You get like maybe a weapon. And in the case of the Joker, I was kind of thinking of having him pose with two of the elongated guns at the same time and everything. And then I realized, oh wait, he's got an open palm on the other hand, so I can't do that. So I will take photographs of each gun in the single hand instead, but I won't be able to do some of the kind of crazy fun poses I was hoping to do with him because of that. So once again, McFarlane, decent price point on their figures. The lack of accessories and everything is kind of getting it to be a bit of a concern, and them constantly making you buy multiples of the same figure just to get different looks, like get a human head instead of a masked head, and or to get like a cloak on the back of a figure instead of having him without a cloak. I wish they'd stop doing that and just give you the accessories and maybe charge a little more instead of having two of the same guy all the time. But anyway, that's me just ranting. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll start with the packs themselves and kind of what's included with each, and we'll go from there. Okay, so first we have pack number 1. In pack number 1 you get a bunch of different handguns. You get an Uzi, you get what looks like a Desert Eagle, you get what looks like an AK-47, you get some assault rifles, you get a rocket launcher, which is one I was actually looking forward to using with one of the Joker Dark Knight figures, and then I realized he won't be in scale. But thankfully McFarlane just recently announced he's doing a Dark Knight Joker figure, so maybe if he doesn't include it, like he hasn't been including accessories with the Joker, I've got one ready for him. You do have what looks like a Tommy gun at the bottom there. You've got some other assault weapons as well. And yeah, so let's crack it open and give you a quick look at what's inside. Now, as I mentioned, I did open them earlier just to kind of get a feel for what they look like. And you know what? I resealed them, so I'll be right back. Okay, so just a quick shot of the back of the package. You can see kind of the shadowed outlines of the different weapons you get inside. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 weapons. Sorry, forgive me, I believe it is. I believe I said 18 earlier. I think it looks like it's 17. Okay, so basically that's the packaging anyway. Very simple, just the McFarlane logo up top. There's the barcode if anyone needs it to try and track it down. And again, we're back to the front of the packaging. Okay, so let's open them up. Okay, so I was going to try and show you guys in the tray what everything looks like and give you a feel for how everything looked before taking them out, but as soon as I linked the tray over, they all just poured right out. So I'll just give you guys a quick idea. That's the rocket launcher. You do get some nice paint on there. They've painted the missile in a kind of a deep green. You've got some like weathering on them as well. You got the shotgun here with some weathering, and then the brown painted hilt of the gun as well. You got the Tommy gun with the grips all painted and everything as well. So yeah, some nice details. That elongated Joker gun here, basically, so you can actually throw that into his hands. The AK-47, again, they've painted the handles and everything, so they're not just plain black, thank God. They did add some, you know, minor details to them as well. This one's got some gunmetal gray paint on it, as well as being a deeper color for the grenade launcher. I do like this one here where they've painted both the silencer, and then they've also got the grip of the gun painted as well, which is really nice. Not exactly sure what kind of gun this is, but it looks kind of cool and everything. There's your Uzi. So you get the Uzi and everything as well. And they're really well sculpted weapons. Some of them look a little overly large, so they are definitely kind of throwbacks to the old Spawn weapons that came with some of the old Spawn figures. So you do get some really crazy huge weapons as well that look really crazy, so they'll go well with Spawn. Not sure how well they'll go with other figures, like maybe some mercenary figures. Now this one here, you notice a little warped. I can probably easily straighten it out just by heating it up a little bit, but that one's warped out of the package. That's one thing I did notice in the 2-pack. Yeah, see again, another one that's kind of warped right out of the package, so I don't know if that's common or not. It's the first time I'm actually taking them out, so yeah, they are warped right out of the package there. I'm sure I can just kind of bend it back a little bit. They are soft rubber, by the way. They're not like really a hard plastic or anything. They're fairly soft rubber. You get a pair of handguns, matching handguns as well. You get what looks like a Desert Eagle, and then you get another what looks like an Uzi. I'll take on the Uzi as well, and then you get this last guy here, which is another handgun as well. And again, it looks like it might be a pair for the Desert Eagle. So again, if you have a character that requires 2 guns, you're fairly close to a pair in those as well. So that's pack number 1 out of the way. Let's open up pack number 2. So here we have the back of pack number 2. As you can see in the shaded area there, are the shadowed out weapons there. You got basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 guns again. So I guess you may have gotten 18 in the first one, but I mean you get at least 17. In this one you're getting the same 17. Some of them are very kind of odd looking, like, you know, like Buck Rogers guns, or like you know, like Flash Gordon kind of thing. The cork gun, like I said, that would probably only be suitable for the Joker or Harley Quinn. And then you get some other weapons that look a little more traditional, I guess. Or I don't know if traditional is the right word, but you get some like assault weapons again. You get the Gatling gun, which is the one I'm looking forward to like posing a figure with. You get another shotgun with a really wide barrel. Stuff like that. What looks like an old revolver. You get some what look like Walter P38s down there as well, and then a couple of like what look like standard cop revolvers as well. So you do get quite a few weapons in this one again. The packaging here is a little more interesting. They've at least added the shadow of a figure holding one of the weapons as well. And they do mention on the package that they work with most 1/10 scale figures. So they don't mention any 1/12 scale, which are more the G.I. Joe classified sizes. But they should scale well with the 1/10 figures. Let's open it up and see what we got. So here we go. We'll just get this guy. Like I said, I opened the tape earlier. Hopefully these ones won't just all fall out all over the place as I open it up, but let's find out. Okay, so they do come exactly the same as the other one. I couldn't remember if they did or not. Last time I opened the tray, everything just fell out, so just to give you a quick idea what's in there. You get that giant golden gun in the middle, which I don't really know what that's for. Who would be using a gun like that? You get that shotgun. They added a bit more weathering to certain parts. And then you get those futuristic guns that have a lot of different colored paint apps to them, almost like NECA weapons. And then you get the standard paint job like you've done the other ones with the actual painted hilts. They've added, like I said, more weathering to some of these guns as well. And then you get the Gatling gun with the cartridge here, which is split in two, and then you're going to actually have to put that together and then load it on the bottom of the gun itself. I'll quickly remove the tray top. If everything falls out, bear with me guys, but I'll just try and give you an idea because I can see how badly it's reflecting on top. But just to give you an idea what they all look like. Okay, so that's kind of what you're getting inside these packs, and now I'll move into taking some photographs and we'll see how well they look and how well they scale as well. I'm going to start with the G.I. Joe classified figure just to get it out of the way, because I want to move on to like being able to actually pose the actual figures who can use these properly and look proper holding them. So I'll quickly do some of the guns with the G.I. Joe scale figure first. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so first here we have Snake Eyes. As you can see, I've got him with the two Uzis. Basically, they are in scale, in my opinion. I mean, I don't really know how well these should scale, how small they should look in his hands. I mean, that's the one that came with him, and it's actually bigger than the original one that came with him. This is a different take on it, I guess, but it still looks like it scales well enough with the Uzi anyway. And that was the other gun that came with Snake Eyes. And I think the other version that was similar, or most similar, with the McFarlane sets was this one. So this one's quite a bit different in scale, so I don't know how well that would work. But, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at scale-wise. So, I mean, they look kind of similar sizing. They don't look terribly different. But I can see where people are saying they may not work as well with the classified figures because of it. But yeah, like I mean, the Uzis look fine in my opinion. I mean, the handguns here look like they'll scale well as well. So I throw the handgun in his hand. I mean, they scale pretty well. I don't know. I don't really see a problem with how they're scaling. Let's see one of the assault rifles here quickly. So I just want to make sure I keep the weapons separate because I don't want to mix the ones that came with the figure in with the wrong one. So forgive me for doing this off camera, guys. I'm just going to quickly try and get this gun into his hands, see how it looks, and then maybe you guys can tell me in the comments whether or not it looks like it scales right or not. I mean, honestly, so far from what I'm seeing as I'm doing this, it looks like it'll scale well. Now I'm having a bit of a hard time getting his hand around the gun right now, but yeah, I guess I can start seeing now where they don't scale as well as you get into the larger guns. So I'm trying to get him to stand here, guys. Forgive me. Balancing figures while you're trying to record is always a pain in the butt. So yeah, so I can start seeing where they don't scale as well as you get into these larger weapons, especially something like this, where it's going to be practically half his height and everything. That's going to be more like a Spawn figure sort of gun for sure. But I'm thinking the grenade launcher will probably work. It looks like it might fit well. Something like that. I think it looks like it goes well. I don't think it's actually that bad. So yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of hit or miss personally. Again, I don't know how big these weapons should actually be in real life personally. So I don't know, you guys maybe leave a comment saying, nah, that's way too big, or you know, whatever you think. But to me, they look like they actually work pretty well with him. And yeah, I mean, there are definitely ones that obviously aren't going to, for sure. But I mean, for the most part, they actually do look like it'll work pretty well with Class 5 figures, at least set one anyway. So I'll do one more. The rocket launcher here quickly, which I was thinking would be nice to have for the Joker, but yeah, I mean, I think these scale pretty well with the classified figures. I don't know, I'm just looking at them quickly, but they look like they scale fairly well. I mean, I'd be happy with it in that photo anyway, and I don't think it would be that bad. I'd also want to make sure the hands are on the grips and everything, and he's actually got his hands on the triggers and everything, but overall I think they look pretty good. I don't really see a problem with it. Okay, so next we would have the Joker, and I mean, again, that's just a quick rundown of some of the classified ones, but I think they aren't too bad. I'm pretty happy to see that they actually work a little bit. Now, this is one of the reasons why I wanted this first set, because I had that Joker figure, and I actually had that elongated barrel gun, and I thought, hey, why didn't he come with this in the first place? But traditional fashion, when they make a hand that's meant for an accessory, other accessories don't seem to want to go into them, even though he's got a trigger finger hand, which is kind of the strange part, because the figure only came with a crowbar, but he had a trigger finger. But then this gun doesn't seem to want to go well into his hand. Okay, there we go. So there's the gun that I was thinking about for the Joker originally when I bought this set. And I'll hopefully can get some nice photographs of him using it. And it looks pretty cool. It looks very Joker-like. And yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking. And then again, with that cork gun from pack number 2, I don't have a Harley Quinn figure at the moment. I didn't bother picking any of the McFarlane ones up because I didn't like the look of them. But that's neither here nor there. But there's the elongated barrel. This was the second one I was thinking about with the silencer and everything, because I thought maybe, you know, you could have them walk around with a silencer weapon. And again, some of the trigger holes are very small, so it would take some work to get the hand into the grips and everything, but you can kind of see they scale properly and everything as well, at least. And they should be okay with him. The cork gun is here from set number 2, and this would be the other one that seems like it might be kind of Joker-like. Now, none of these are really going into the hand of this particular figure very well. I don't know if it'll be better with other figures, but this guy, yeah, as you can hear, things are just falling everywhere. But yeah, like the guns don't really seem to go that well into their hands. Forgive the noise, guys, I'm sorry. But yeah, so this is that cork gun. It doesn't really go in his hand very well, but maybe the Harley Quinn figure will be different. Again, I don't have her, so I don't really know how well it works with her figure, but that's kind of that really weird looking cork gun. Okay, so otherwise we have a couple of handguns I can put into his hands, things like that. In the other set, there are the Lugers and the cop guns and things like that. Those should all work well with this figure, and I'll take some photographs of those with him. And then let's move into the really heavy weapons with the Spawn figure. Now this Spawn figure, because of his gauntlet, may not hold certain weapons very well, but I'll start with the Tommy gun. I can't think of a time where we've seen Spawn really use a Tommy gun, but yeah, it definitely scales better with the McFarlane figure, because it actually looks like it's in the proper sizing for him. It actually looks like it's just the right size for him to hold on to, and you can get probably some nice poses of him with it, basically. And yeah, definitely a better scale for these larger weapons for sure. I'm gonna grab that giant, well, pardon me, that giant one that came with pack 1 here, and see how that looks, because it definitely seems more like a Spawn sort of weapon. Again, they don't really go into the hands of the figures very well. They seem to take a lot of work to get into the figures' hands. I mean, maybe I'm just incompetent, but they don't really seem to want to go in very well. Alright, yeah, there we go. That's definitely more scale towards this size figure. But yeah, so stuff like that, guys. This is what we're kind of getting with these sets. Our weapons that will definitely look good with a Spawn, you know, any kind of like McFarlane mercenary style figures, that sort of idea. They should look great with all those guys. And you should get some really nice photographs with those. The second set, by the way, I didn't mention it, but they definitely are different from the first set because a lot of them are painted silver as opposed to black. So basically a lot of them have a really heavy wash on them, and they're like a gunmetal gray with silver paint. So those are kind of interesting looking. One gun that I still don't understand what character this is meant to be for, just because I don't really recognize it from anything. I mean, maybe it's a video game sort of looking gun, but like this thing here, whatever this is just huge, and I don't really know who in the world would be using this thing. But this gun here is kind of goofy looking, in my opinion. And again, anyone who knows what it would be for normally or who it suits, maybe you can let me know, but like, I don't know what this is. I have no idea why this gun came in the set at all. And another example of that, really, because I can't think of any McFarlane fantasy figures like Flash Gordon or anything. Maybe there are some, but like I don't realize really who's really intended to use that from any of the McFarlane figures that I can think of. Or this guy. Again, it's just, I don't know. There must be figures out there that McFarlane has made that would suit these weapons, but like I can't think of any personally that I would have or that I would have bought in the past that would have used something like this. So you do get some weird weapons in that second set. In that second set, you do get the really large weapons again. So you do get a set of guns that look like they're overkill. Sorry, but they look kind of cool though when you get them into his hands. Once again, you gotta fiddle them around a bit to get them in there, but you know, you do get some interesting looking weapons that you can actually use with them as well. And again, they're much better scale with him than say the Classifieds figure here, who won't do as well with this guy for sure. I'm not even sure if it'll go in his hand. Actually, you know what? It goes in his hand easier than the McFarlane figure. It looks like he's carrying around a giant toy gun though when you start posing him with it though. So that's Snake Eyes with that same gun. You can definitely see the scale difference on these large weapons anyway. But yeah, so I mean, generally that's what you're getting in these kits. They do seem like a lot of fun. You do get some really nicely painted weapons. Again, the warping out of the packaging is a bit of a concern because they are all soft rubber. But there are some interesting looking weapons in the kit and everything. I think you'll enjoy these kits if you have a lot of McFarlane figures that you can use them with. I missed out on Sam and Twitch. I think there's a bunch of guns in here that would have gone well with them. Like a lot of the old cop style handguns and things like that, like this sort of idea. You know, like the cop revolvers and things like that. Like they look nice. And they're well done, they're well painted and everything. So yeah, if you enjoy kind of having you know, extra accessories for your figures, these are definitely a nice thing to pick up. And they're not too bad. Like I mean, the second pack was a little more than the first at $35, but oh sorry, $30 plus tax, and then the first one was $20 plus tax. So you're paying a little more for the second pack. I'm not sure exactly why, unless the Gatling gun costs that much more to make. And oh, forgive me on that note. Here's the Gatling gun quickly. Now the Gatling gun is really soft rubber, by the way, so it's really a pain to get in the hand of the figure. I'm trying to work past the thumb here quickly to get it into his hand, and it's like the actual trigger of the gun is really soft rubber. So So you have to kind of work with the soft rubber fingers and the soft trigger of the gun, or trigger handle of the gun. But once you get it in there, it actually looks pretty cool though. So that's the Gatling gun anyway, so I do like the look of that. It's well painted. Again, it's a little warped out of the packaging, but I'm guessing I can either just heat it up or just bend it backwards. But you know, they actually look pretty good. The gun doesn't turn. It's one solid piece, by the way, so if anyone's wondering if the actual barrels of the gun turn, no, they do not. It's just one solid piece. So other companies have definitely made much better Gatling guns. Even the one that comes with like Roadblock from G.I. Joe is better than this one is. But this one looks kind of cool though. It's huge and it looks pretty cool, but it's just one big blob of plastic and with a cartridge shoved in the bottom. But yeah, like, I mean, overall I'm happy with them. They're a nice little set of accessories to have. I'll take some photographs at this point and show you guys what they look like in actual like photographs and everything. You can see what you think. And again, I got mine at Heroes World in Markham, Ontario. They are available online now, and like I said, the second pack just launched recently, so it should still be pretty easy to find. The first pack I think might be a little harder to find, but I know people that have actually picked them up recently, so they're still out there. So yeah, if you enjoy that sort of stuff, just, you know, keep your eye out and you can definitely find them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the videos, guys. Thank you for coming back. I'll throw some photographs in throughout the video for you so you can, you know, get a better feel for them, like I said. And again, thank you for coming back and supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. It really helps. And I'll keep putting some videos up as we go. Thanks again, guys. Take care. Have a great day.